Hi, it's Cindy. I've got a little bit of a haul video and a little bit of a project share. First of all, I wanted to share with you a couple of dies I got from eBay. These are from China. This is a set of bow dies. They make these cute little bows, 3 different sizes. There's small, tiny, and teeny tiny. And I made an extra of the large one so I can show you real quickly how it goes together, because it's got a little bit of a different mechanism than the ones I've seen before. So let me get a little bit of glue here. And you just fold these 2 ends in the center, like we all know how to do that. And then you take the back, the little ends, and you put that behind. You wrap this little part around to the back. And I actually, with the littlest one, I only used glue on the back. I didn't even bother to glue it in the middle there. I just sort of held it in place until I got it together. And then I just put 1 dot of glue here and it held the whole thing together. So that's it. And they really are cute dies. Or bows. So it's a cute die, is what I'm trying to say. So I think I paid about $1.70 for that, for the 3 different sizes. So I thought that was a nice little purchase. And I know I'll get some use out of that. That out of the way. The other thing I bought was this set of stamps for my princesses. Cooper especially, because she's here more. But it's a little unicorn stamp set. There are 4 unicorns and a Pegasus, as Cooper would be quick to point out. And there are gems and stars and a rainbow with clouds and other clouds and a little banner. And I stamped them all out. And I didn't use anything to prep my stamps with. I took them right out of the package and put VersaFine Onyx ink on there, and they stamped as nicely as any stamps I've ever used. I stamped an extra one of these little horses. Where did it go? There it is. Blended into my background there. Because this set came with dies for every piece. So I used the die for this little horse and cut him out. And it cut out really, really well. It's not a huge white border, which I like. I'm not a big fan of the huge white border. But I'm also not real good at lining up the stamps, like the ones from Stamp Pendus that I really, really like, because they cut directly on just outside the line. I have a hard time getting them lined up, and I don't always do such a great job with that. So I never know when I'm in frame. So let me try that. What do you think? So there we go. So that was that, and I think this was about $3.60 something. No more than that. It might have even been less. So that was a really nice buy, and Cooper will have a lot of fun with it. The other girls too when they're here. And then I bought this set of journaling cards called Gorgeous Dames from Mrs. Cog's shop on Etsy. Maybe I better keep it back down there. And Lindsay Zanor, who has her own channel here on YouTube and an Etsy shop, had recommended printing things, digital papers on the back of scrapbook paper. And so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to print, to make these on, so they'd have a pretty back. So we printed 1 set on this paper, and they'll cut out nicely, I think. They've got nice heavy black lines. And I love her stuff. If you've never been to Mrs. Cog's and you do any kind of junk journaling or vintage type things, she's got beautiful digital papers. You really should go check her out. And I'll leave a link below. And so I want to make a journal using, this is part of the Dear Jane collection from DCWV. It's a couple of years old, and I absolutely adore this paper. I have made so many projects with this paper, and I just recently bought another pad of it. I found one on clearance at Joann and took it quick. And I just love it. This was one of the pattern papers, obviously. This was from the same pack. I pattern printed again. Excuse me. Tickle in my throat. From the same pack of paper were these cards, journaling cards. And my son is fortunate enough to have, or I'm fortunate enough to have a son with a large format printer. And I gave this to him with a printout, because she had them printed originally. They come in an 8.5 by 11 format. And so they're a little bit smaller, and they were all sort of, they were all bunched together. And I handed him the paper and that file, and I emailed him that printout, rather. And then I emailed him the files, and he said, I asked him what he thought about the job, and he said, oh, it shouldn't be a problem for everything but those cards. I'm a little worried about lining them up on those cards. And I said, well, why would that be hard? And he said, well, you could get them just so. And I said, they don't have to be just so. I said, I just want them so you flip the card over. And he goes, you want them on the back? He was going to print all my paper. I'd sent him two files. He was going to print it all on top. And I said, no. I want these cards with these on the back. And I want this paper with these on the back. So we got that straight, and he did it. He's very clever. He said it was no problem at all to separate the photos and make them larger, or the JPEGs rather, so that was nice. And then I had purchased another set from 12 Papers, another Etsy shop, and they have some beautiful papers. And I'll show you some of the other sets that I got from them. I bought several, but this is old music, and I had them printed on the back of these papers. And they print beautifully. So these will be really nice in journals, I think. And I love the papers. They'll trim down nicely. Lindsay Zenor is the one who gave me the idea to print on the back of pattern paper. She doesn't have a large format printer, but she just shrinks her file to 8.5 by 11 and prints it on the back of her 8.5 by 11 paper. So it can work either way. So I'm really very pleased with these papers. I love the company, 12 Papers, and I will be buying more paper sets from them, I'm sure, because they have wonderful papers. The same with Mrs. Cog. And she also makes gorgeous junk journals. Oh, boy. To die for. So, this is going to be for a future Traveler's Notebook type piece. Maybe bigger, I don't know. There's 12 sheets, obviously, 12 papers. So, I don't know. We'll see. These are some of the other things that I got. Actually, this page is from Femra's Vintage Garden. She has a couple of free downloads on her site, on Etsy, on her Etsy shop. And so I downloaded these to use in future journals. And I'll just glue them when the time comes. I'll glue them to coffee-dyed file folders and stiffen them up a bit. And this is just some... Now, she prints these on colored paper, or with colored ink, obviously. I have a laser printer that only does black and white. So I've been printing some things on there, and I don't mind the look of that at all. I mean, I don't know that I'd want every book I made to look like that, but for once in a while, I think it's kind of fun. And the same with this one. That's just another sheet, a background sheet. This one is called was a grunge pack that they sold, and it was all in shades of gray, and it didn't print especially well, but it's not bad. I mean, some of them look pretty good. Sometime I'm going to ask my son to print it out in color just to see the difference. But I will gladly use these in junk journals. I think I would coffee dye them and see how that goes. But other than that, I think they're fine. Some of that, like that really dark one, I don't know if I would use that. But this one was called, a black and white damask, is what they called this one. And I'm totally happy with these. Definitely use these, and I will coffee dye them first. Just so the backside is coffee dyed. And it will change the texture too. I love what coffee dyeing does to the paper. Just beautiful. They have beautiful colored papers. The lavender book that I did a couple of weeks ago was their paper as well, from 12 Papers. But I think these are lovely. So, yeah, that's that. It wasn't all 12. You might have gotten that. And these are the music papers printed in black and white. So, they're pretty cool as well. And I will use them as well. Again, I'll coffee dye all of that. So, 3 neat shops to check out. Yeah. Mrs. Coggs, Euphemia's Vintage Garden, and 12 Papers. 3 really, and also Lindsay's the North shop. I'll link to her shop as well. So I'll give links to all those places. And you'll see the books as they come available. So please like, subscribe, share, all those things, and I hope to see you again soon.